Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic of Angular, that is route guard. So by the end of this session, we will be able to understand what is Angular route guard, why do we use Angular route guard, and what are the types that are available that can be processed as a route guard. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic and to implement the same. Okay. Alright, so let's see how it goes. So how we will proceed. Firstly, I'll show you the theoretical things, because before moving directly into the practical, it should be great if we go through some of the pointers that will help us to understand the concept, and then later on one by one we will explain all these things practically as well. Okay, and meanwhile you can walk through the previous session, because before directly moving into route guard you should know about the other basic stuff of Angular. And for the sequential content, you can refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. So from there you can take a reference and you can learn the concepts. Okay. Alright, so let's get started. Here you can see we have first thing that shows the heading Angular 19 course by Sharmit. Then we are talking about the Angular route guard. Okay, so one by one we will go. Firstly, we will discuss what are route guards. So simple question. Let's say you are in an interview and someone asks you what are route guards. So how you will answer it? So you will simply say in a very simple language that route guards are interfaces provided by Angular's router module. Okay, so they are the interfaces provided by the router module of Angular. Okay, so if someone asks you what is route guard, so you can simply say that route guards are the interfaces provided by Angular's router module. Then we have second point, that they can control navigation, whether a user can access, leave or load a particular route. So this is very important thing, because this is the main purpose of route guard. It can handle the navigation, it can manage or control the navigation. So suppose there is a application which we are using. So when you click on that, suppose we are building one banking application. Okay, there and in this banking application we have two panel, one is admin panel, one is customer panel. So we are sure that customer will not be able to use the admin panel, right? Because admin has the sensitive data, they have some functionality that can be utilized only by the admin. No other person is supposed to be used that, right? So in that case, if you don't want to use if you don't want that customer use those kind of routes, so in that case what we will do, we will use the route guard, because they can control the navigation. If user is trying to move there, so it will check whether the user can access it or not. If it can access, it will provide the further page. If not, it will skip that process. Okay, so therefore we are saying that they can control navigation, whether a user can access, leave or load a particular route. The third point is very important again, because here it will tell you technically what all things can route guard do. Here first thing is route guards are used for authentication, which is true, authorization, true, data protection and user flow control. So again, take the same example. We are working with a banking application where we have two panels, admin panel and client panel or customer panel. Okay, so we are sure that admin can access some of the data of customer as well. Some means which is legal, right? But in case of customer is not supposed to access the admin data, because admin has some sensitive data of all other customers. So in that case, we can utilize route guard, which will help us to perform authentication, authorization, data protection and user flow control. Okay, so user flow control is the same, like if user is trying to navigate to that particular route, it will make sure that no, this is the user which we are not supposed to provide with the access of admin section, so it will simply skip that portion. Okay, the next thing is route guard. purpose of route guards. Okay, so here we will try to understand what are the things where this route guard can help us. So first and very important thing is protecting route from unauthorized access. Again, suppose we are working for a login functionality. Okay, so there you are providing user ID and password as a credentials. Okay, when you click on the button of login, it will take the input, it will validate it. If it is not valid, then in that case it will make sure that route guard will restrict the access. Okay, because it protects the routes from unauthorized access. Second point is it prevents navigation away from unsaved changes, right? So this is again the second functionality which is provided by route guard, that it prevent navigation away from unsaved changes. Third point is restricting module loading based on condition. Yes, so sometimes like application get loads on, but here let's say if there is a situation where we are not supposed to load the application, so in that case we can utilize the route guard, which will help us to restrict module loading based on a particular condition. Now the condition depends on your requirement. Whatever kind of condition you are utilizing there, accordingly it will act. The next point is managing dynamic or conditional routing. Yes, so let's say if you want to perform some routing but on a conditional level, there are some condition. Let's say if user is category A user are there, we will provide access to the route. If user category is B, in that case we will not allow. So all these kind of thing can be managed dynamically, managed dynamic and conditional routing with the help of route guards. Okay, then we have next point, that is controlling how and when route should be matched or activated. Again, this is for the access purpose, where it will check like whether route should be matched or activated. It will be checked with the help of route guards only. Okay, so these are the all pointer that tells us about the purpose of route guards. Then the third point is types of route guard. Although like there are plenty of things that we can discuss on these things, but for introductory session I think only one thing is clear, like we will just go through the names, and then in the next session we will talk about it, all of these types in detail. Okay, so the first thing is CanActivate. First route guard type is CanActivate. Second is CanActivateChild. Third is CanDeactivate. Fourth is CanLoad and CanMatch. So these are some popular route guards that we use in our application to get the proper desired output. Then we have fourth pointer that shows us the return type of route guard, like what all possible values are there that can be written by the guard. So in that case a guard can return Boolean value, which means it will return either true or false. If it is returning true, that means it allowed the process, further process. If it returns false, it means it denies the further process. URL tree. Yes, so it can redirect to another route as well. Like after validating the things, it will redirect us to the another route. Third thing is observables. Yes, for async logic, it can return observable and promises as well. So you can see fourth point is promise for async logic again. So these are the four possible values that can be written by the route guard. Depends on the requirement, like how you are utilizing it. Most frequently we use these upper two, Boolean and URL tree. But again, maybe let's say in your project there is a requirement where you are supposed to use observable and promise. So in that case you can utilize it. But overall these four things can be used. These four things can be received with the route guard. Okay. So I hope this entire session is clear to all of you, And if you want to relate it with some real world scenario, so you can relate it with a security guard in any of the organization or malls, right? So what security guard like perform, like how they operate, they simply check for the authorization, they make sure that no unauthorized person is entered in the mall or a building. So similar kind of thing can be done with the help of route card, okay, because in our application. So yeah, I think these are the all things which I wanted to share with you all in this particular session, and in the next session we will talk about few more things, and I'll also make sure that we will cover all these topics practically also. So yes, we are going to create work on that. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching TechSharmit.